Our first speaker today, who we're honored to have, is the Honorable Marco Mendicino, the Federal Minister of Public Safety. The Honorable Minister was first elected as a Member of Parliament for Eglinton Lawrence in 2015. He's previously served as Minister of Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship. In early 2017, the minister was appointed as a parliamentary secretary to the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Canada, where he helped to advance important government priorities such as criminal justice reform, reconciliation with Indigenous peoples, and restorative justice. He has been Minister of Public Safety since October 26, 2021, and is responsible for exercising leadership at the national level on issues related to public safety. Thank you so much for joining us, Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Yusuf. Bon après-midi tout le monde. I'm joining you today from Moncton, New Brunswick, and also want to acknowledge that I'm speaking to you virtually from the traditional territory of the Mi'kmaq. And just a few important acknowledgements up front. First to you, to Yusuf, and to Tariq, and to all of the organizers for hosting and facilitating this important conversation. Also to Elder Nolan for your inspiring words and reflection on the important work that we must do together on reconciliation. To my colleagues and my friends, I know that I believe Talib is on the line. I see Jenny, and I also see Wilson. So I just wanted to say a big shout out to them and for all of the incredible work that they do as parliamentarians, including on the important issue that we're here to speak about today, and that is the very alarming and concerning rise of anti-Asian hate. Yusuf, you mentioned the statistics. I mean, they're shocking and they're very worrying. And it's not just hate, and these are not just numbers. We're talking about real life, tangible impacts on people's lives as a result of discrimination, as a result of overt racism in many different forms. And I think, if anything, recent tragic events, in Canada, outside of Canada, have been a very harsh reminder that if we don't push back against hate, it just leads to more violence. It just begets more violence. And I just do want to take a moment to express our grievances for our friends south of the border, but also just to say that we're not immune from racism in Canada. And in particular, we've seen some communities hit very hard through the pandemic, including the Asian community. I was inspired by the video and the testimonials that we heard. I agree with Elder Nolan. It is important, even as we confront the difficult subject matter, that we think about the positive, that we remember the contributions, and that we use the role models as a motivation to be united in the common cause of rooting out racism, of rooting out hate. And it's not easy, but it is important. It is essential, in fact. Des communautés d'un bout à l'autre du pays ont vécu une forte hausse des crimes anti-asiatiques. Nous devons condamner ces actions. Nous devons continuer de mettre en action divers programmes pour s'attaquer aux causes profondes de ces actes haineux. C'est comme ça que nous continuerons de progresser vers un Canada uni. C'est qui nous sommes. Un pays qui accepte et accueille pleinement les gens, où chacun se sent en sécurité, quelle que soit sa race. At Public Safety Canada, we take this work very seriously. We've worked to develop programs such as our Security Infrastructure Program, which allows funding for many different organizations and community centers who've been subjected to hate to apply for supports that they can build up the resources and the capacity so that members can fully participate without the worry of having to be attacked for who they are. I have to tell you, having spoken with many community leaders, that we need to do more work in this program. I mean, sadly and tragically, but I was recently out in British Columbia and spoke with the community there. I've spoken with community leaders in the Asian community who talked to me about the vandalism, the graffiti, the spitting, the harassment, the violence shown towards them simply because of who they are, based on disinformation, based on stereotypes, based on racism, based on hate. And it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. And so we are doing what we can at Public Safety to make sure that there are resources that are there to protect those members of the community who have been traumatized and victimized by this hate. The truth is, in our fight to combat systemic anti-Asian racism, we must also face uncomfortable realities. Nous nous devons de protéger ceux qui sont visés et nous devons affronter le racisme de front. Nous nous devons de créer des programmes d'éducation sur la diversité panasiatique et les cultures qui enrichissent le Canada depuis des générations. Nous nous devons disputer les stéréotypes, faire preuve de solidarité et être des alliés forts et fiers. Like you said, Yusuf, allyship, friendship. And there's a long way to go to end racism, but we've made a lot of progress over the years, and that progress cannot go backwards, it must go forwards. It's created through hard work and steadfast commitment. It has to come from the people. It has to come from the community, from the leaders who are asserting their rights to be fully participating members of our communities. Our commitment to inclusion, diversity, and multiculturalism is unwavering, and anti-Asian hate must stop. We cannot condemn it harshly enough. Thank you again for inviting me to speak. I'm grateful for all of the work that you are doing and look forward to doing more of it together. Merci beaucoup. Miigwech.
Thank you, Minister. It's incredibly inspirational to see leadership at the national level standing up against such heinous activities against our fellow citizens, our friends, our brothers, and our sisters. There is a whole of government effort that is needed in order to address both this and the other social ills that are facing our communities.